I'm aware this is a Christmas cup. I just pulled whatever cup I could, so deal with it. Hello. Welcome back. It's now the day before we leave for Whitby. And I'm not going to lie, I am so tired. I am absolutely pooped from making loads of stock and just getting ready. It's been a bit of a whirlwind since I last spoke to you guys, and I do apologise about that. You'll have to excuse my look as well. I've got no makeup on. I've got my hair all tied back at the moment. We're in full serious mode at the moment. So anyway, first, let me just say hello. So I keep looking out my window because I can hear noises, but hello, my name's Megan. I'm the owner of Cures and Curses, if you don't already know that. I have been vlogging for a few weeks now and come along on this journey, see where we're going. I'm in the absolute Armageddon of Halloween season for a spooky business that's year round anyway, but during October it's like crunch time. We are not okay. Anyone that has a small business during October that is spooky, gothic, horror, anything like that, we are running on fumes, you know. We've got one more massive market to do, and then I've got a couple of weeks off from markets, so we're just in that final sort of push to make stock. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to look at my foil machine for a little bit. I don't mind doing the orders, that's fine, because it's, you know, it's money. But doing like stock prep is slowly killed me this year. It's just a lot more intense now with stuff being in shops, having a few stockists now. It's really picked up. So I'm having a little bit of a inner battle with myself to kind of be positive and keep going, and also try and not burn myself out. But I think I am a little bit burnt out, to be honest. I'm trying to think when I last spoke to you. I think it was just as I was preparing for Stockport Alternative Market, the Halloween one, which has just been. It was on the Sunday. 1 second. Yes, so Halloween market on Sunday. It was, again, a venue I've been to before. It was at Masonic Hall in Stockport, and it was an evening market, so it was 3 till 8 p.m. And there was a quiet hour for the first hour for different needs for people that get a bit overstimulated at markets. It's actually really helpful as well, kind of eases us in a little bit. So that was on Sunday, and I didn't film that. And the main reason I didn't was I got the layout a few days before of where I was going to be. And where I was, it was a great spot, but I knew where the loading bay was from there. And I was right on that corner for when people would be constantly going past me. And I knew it would be quite noisy, and I knew it was going to be really tricky to film even with a mic. Sorry if you can hear that van, that was very loud. And to be honest, I was completely right. We were on sort of like the gangway of everyone walking past with their trolleys. There was no room to set up a camera for you to see me set up the stand. And also my neighbour opposite me was playing music, and I really didn't want a copyright ban, so I just thought it's not worth filming. In terms of that, it would have been really stressful worrying about the camera being in the way, and I didn't want to do that. So I just thought, you know, I'll get a couple videos on my phone, which I did. I'll try and remember to put that in here for you to see anyway. But generally, I made the decision not to film it. It just wasn't going to be. It's just not the right quite. It's too busy. I'd have to do some planning and probably talk to the organisers and ask to be somewhere a little bit more quieter for me to do that next time maybe, but it's fine. I was really happy with the spot I was. I had lots of space. I took a rail with me this time, only a small one, And I had like a few t-shirts and a few end of the line bags, and generally had my stock. And there was a couple hiccups. I didn't realise I was really low on a couple items in my market boxes. So I have boxes that are just purely for markets. I don't, I say this, I don't take stock out of them for anything else. But if I'm in a pinch on an order and it needs to go quick, I will take it out of the box. But I hadn't realised I sold a lot of coasters at Grimfest, and when I put them out, I was like, oh, I have 9 coasters. That was interesting. So and then they sold, and it got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna have to fill this spot. It looks so sad with like 3 coasters in there, but I made it work to the end. But generally there was no issue setting up. It was easy. We did it under an hour, and I was like, yeah, me and my partner, we've got this down to a T. We do it now without really talking to each other as well. It's weird. We kind of just move around each other and kind of know our roles. So yeah, I mean, in general, what can I tell you about the market? It's a very big one. It's got lots of traders there, and in the past it's been very, very successful. However, this one was a little bit different from what I've experienced before. It was very busy actually from the get-go. I didn't feel like it was a quiet hour. We had a lot of people in, which was fine. It was very busy for a few hours, and then the last sort of 2 hours, it really dropped quite a bit. By about 6 o'clock, it was very, very slow, and I was chatting to my neighbours, which was lovely, because I had a few new people that had not really done many markets, and a few that I've known for a few years now from previous. It was really nice to have a catch up with them and generally to have a chit chat with them. But it was a little bit slow near the end, so that was a little bit painful. But for some reason, I used to get really upset about markets being slow, and I would really take it to heart. And I've kind of just learned it's slow, but it's not personal for you. Like, it's not just you, it's slow for everyone. No one's making any sales. It's not your stand, it's not your issue. It's kind of, that's how it is sometimes. It's not always going to be like footfall is just rammed out the door. So yeah, I've kind of just learnt that now over doing this a few years. You're just going to take it as it is. And I didn't hit my goal for this market, which was disappointing. You can't always do it though. So I've put higher expectations on Whitby for this weekend, just to kind of recoup that a little bit. I mean, I haven't lost any money. Don't get me wrong. I'm so grateful for every single sale I had. I did make profit, so I didn't go in a negative way at all. It was fine. I just didn't hit the target that I want to see for my business. And everyone has different thresholds, but for me, we just fell short. So I think in the end, when I looked at it and the numbers, we took about 200 profit. As I said in previous videos, I don't do things on sales. I do things on how much profit I make. If I make any profit, I don't always make profit, but I tried to be realistic. So if I do it by sales, it's great. I sound like I'm really successful, but in my brain, I just always work things out by profit, and then I know, have I actually made it worthwhile for this market? Is it worth doing once I take all my costs out? Because I know things. I know the price of my items. I know how much a venue costs. I know how much I'll probably spend in a day. I kind of roughly know these things now, so it's quite easy for me at the end of the market to kind of work these things out, especially on the way home. I'll kind of go through it in my head, make some notes, and then I'll just know. But yeah, 200, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. I've had some markets where I've gone and I've made like £20, and that was purely because there was no one there. There was like 3 people that turned up to the whole entire market. It was so bad. But a story time for another day on that one. If you want to hear it, please let me know in the comments, because I'll happily share you that story. It was yeah, not great, not gonna lie. But anyway, this one, I did speak to a few traders about this, and I said, how have you done? And they were like, yeah, we've done fine. But the common theme I found with everyone was people were not spending frivolously. People were buying one item, or they were really thinking about things and going, like, doing a couple laps of the market and coming back, which is fine. Things are hard at the moment, and I understand that, and we are a luxury item, so if you got a choice between making sure you've got enough to pay your bills, your food, make sure your house is heated, especially this time of year, absolutely, I've got no issue with that. You prioritise things. So I understand that this is sort of a luxury item to be buying prints for your space. So I've got to be realistic about it, but it was a common theme amongst the traders that it wasn't quite what everyone expected for a Halloween. I did this market actually last year, and we did really, really well. And it was busy, I think, pretty much right to the end, maybe like half an hour before it kind of quietened down. It could also be the fact that the weather wasn't very good as well on Sunday, and I didn't realise this because we were in quite a sheltered building. It wasn't until we were leaving and loading the car that I realised how much it rained. There were huge puddles in the car park, so I got a feeling that did deter people quite a bit. But hey ho, we move on. I'm happy to have done that market, and I will definitely be sorry, I don't know why it cut off there. So anyway, we're in the throes of making things for Whitby. Today is Wednesday, we go tomorrow. Whitby Goth Market doesn't start till Friday. However, we go Thursday and we go set up a day early, so it's nice and calm when we come in on Friday morning. There's no panic. You can do it if you want to, but the organisers let you come in a day before to set up, and I absolutely will be doing that. I will be going early with my partner. We're taking, obviously, time off work to do this, because it's kind of like a mini holiday for us as well, because what we'll do is we'll go up, we will go up, we will go and set up, and then we'll go and have a little mooch around the shops, and probably find a nice cafe, have a nice coffee, bookshops, all that jazz, go by the seaside, arcades, live my little life, and then we've got a nice pub dinner to have on Thursday, and then it's all there, and then we just crack on with the market and eat lots of yummy food. It's going to be a great weekend regardless. If I don't make money, I don't make money, but I've had a lovely time, I've gone a little bit delirious. I don't know if you can quite pick that up yet, but we're now into the evening of Wednesday, and I've made everything. I've just got to package up a couple bits. I do have a new product actually, and I will film that at Whitby, because I really can't be unpacking things now. Things are starting to go in boxes, and I don't want to unpack it and break anything this late in the game. So it's in the box, it's staying in the box, it'll come out Thursday. I haven't really filmed, to be honest, because one, I have looked far worse than what I look now in a lot of my mock-up videos, because I'm working quite late into the evening, getting stuff done. I'm also one of these gals that when you're home, the bra is not on. We like to be free. We like to kind of be comfy. So I haven't filmed that. Deal with it. But anyway, I will get footage this weekend. But I thought I'd just check in with you quickly before I go. I mean, also, I'll be totally honest about something as well, which I'll mention. Actually, yeah, let's get into that first. Let's talk about that. I've brought you in closer. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm sort of mentally, I've just said this, but I am exhausted, but I really am struggling. Today, I'm really, really struggling. I feel very overwhelmed. It is tough doing small business stuff, and like I work a full-time job as well. And I've just come off of work, and I'm mentally unspent. Really, what I want to do is just pack my bag for Whitby and go and sit with my cat and do nothing else. I don't want to be packaging things, worrying about stock, getting my last couple of orders out in the post. Sometimes you gotta put your big girl pants and get on with it, but honestly, I'm just feeling a little bit down at the moment, and I don't know why. I have moments like this where you just kind of, you are beating yourself up a bit, and I do feel like that. And to be honest, like the vlogs are great, because while I know not a lot of people watching these at the moment, for me they're like a bit of therapy, because I'm kind of ranting, I'm getting it out rather than bottling it up. So for me, it's like my own little personal therapy. So it doesn't matter what I say, because no one's going to watch this. But yeah, at the moment I just feel a little bit very overwhelmed. I feel better on the weekend. I think I will feel better after I've had a sleep as well. It's just always a bit, I don't know how to describe it. I need to go make stuff. I need to just pack up some coasters. I've just made a whole bunch of coasters. And then it's pretty much go time, really. Pack up the boxes, the last of, any stock I've got. And then I'm going to try and have a bit of a chill this evening, spend some time with my cat, have a bit of a cuddle with her. She'll make me feel better. And then it's all systems go, but will let you know how things go. I'll check in with you when I can, when I remember anyway. But again, yeah, let's see how we go. Let's crack on, shall we? Yeah, let's go. Woo. That one. Do you want them in another little bigger bag for you to carry?
Thank you. Just
No worries.
there somewhere.
Thank you very much. Get you change for you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Feel free to pull them all out if you can't quite get into there. To pull them out on the table. Oh, thank you.
Do you want me to put that on there for
If you could, thank
Then
you.
you're not
It just
rested.
looked a bit sad with the one pumpkin, didn't it? Thank you. Cheers. I made another ear and I don't know where it is. Problem is when you got black yarn and you got a black tablecloth, you can't see nothing. Those two for you? These are waterproof as well, so they will be fine on anything like that. yeah. Got her in this day and age. There we go. Lovely. That's gone through. You can take them off as well. You don't have to. It's for you. A card? No problem. Oh yeah, that's fine. There you go, my lovely. Well, that's gone through. All done. Thank you. Thanks very much. Enjoy your weekend. And just like that, we're back in the studio. So I thought I would sit down with you at the end and kind of have a chat about how the market went. I don't know what footage I got, to be honest. It was very busy and I've really struggled to kind of remember. Everything's a bit of a blur now. It's been a couple of days since Whitby and honestly, I have gone into shutdown mode a little bit. I've got a bit of a cold, a flu, I've got a sore throat and I think my body's telling me I need to kind of take a few days. So apologies if I sound a little bit off. So to end the vlog, I wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on how the market went for me and generally how the weekend was. We had such a lovely trip, if I'm honest. It was the best Whitby we've done in terms of, you know, going down. We had no issues, no traffic. Everything was working really well for us. We set off in plenty of time. There was no hiccups. We made sure to pack everything. I don't know if you've watched my previous vlog, but I was a little bit down before. And I generally think it was because I was just really tired and stressed. And generally I was worried about how the market was going to be. And I didn't need to be honest. It was absolutely fine. Once I woke up the next day, I had some sleep, I had some food. I was absolutely fine. It's just that like pre-market jitters you get. I don't know if anyone else gets this, but when it's like a really big market and you really care about, you know, going and having a good time as well, it kind of, you put this pressure on yourself. And I was definitely doing that this year. I was putting a lot of pressure on. But I didn't need to. Everything was fine. All my planning worked out. Everything I took was what I wanted to take. There was nothing I left behind. So generally, it's a bit of a whirlwind trying to remember everything. The weekend in general, Friday, this is a 3-day market, by the way. So Friday is normally a bit quieter. It's normally the day people arrive. Everyone's sort of settling in. People just go for drinks and food. It's a bit of a potter around mooch day. Well, that's normally the case. That did not happen at all. It was busy. It was... busy is not actually the word to cover it. It was rammed. It was as if it was a full-on Saturday in full spring. I was very surprised. And I wasn't the only one. All of us at the Brunswick Centre did really, really well. We all agreed that it was our best Friday ever. Everyone did really well. It was just really busy. It was so lovely to see so many people come this year and really embrace Whitby and just, you know, do the traditional fish and chips and things like that. It was lovely to see so many people there, and it's such a wide audience. It's lots of, you know, families go and couples and people that come every single year, you know. It was lovely to see a lot of regular people that do come to Whitby, and a few people were like, oh, I bought your stuff last year, and then they ended up buying more, and it was lovely. But generally it was so busy. I was not mentally prepared. I was there, I was ready, the stand was ready, but you know, good God, I was so glad my partner brought a spare card machine, because we were, you know, I was having to like constantly ask him to do stuff as well because I was getting a bit of a queue, which is a great problem. And we had a slightly wider table, so if I couldn't serve them, they would go to Tom. So that was really, really helpful having him. And he had a great time with it. We bought some Halloween sweets, had a bowl, and we were, you know, giving them out to people taking them. It was funny how many people were hesitant to take a sweet as well, because we put a sign out and said free sweets, but had people that were like, I can take a sweet. Generally, I was blown away, and we smashed our target for the day. And in the end, I'll tell you figures at the end. I'll tell you figures at the end. And then Saturday rolled on, and Saturday was even better. I had high expectations for Saturday, but it did smash it as well. It was really busy. It was so full of energy, to be honest, the whole day. It was a lovely atmosphere. I mean, I did speak to a couple traders Saturday morning before we opened, and we were all like, okay, our Friday was definitely like a Saturday market, so does that mean Saturday's now going to be quiet? And we were having that dreaded feeling, but we didn't need to, because it was just as busy. It was funny actually. At one point, I sent my partner to go and get some drinks, and he disappeared for like 20 minutes. And at that moment, I got absolutely rammed with customers. And the funny thing is, his phone is connected to the card machine, and he could see I was literally doing like a transaction every minute or so. And he was like, I better get back quickly. What's happened? So I was like, please hurry up, please come back. Because, you know, it was getting quite intense trying to do everything. And some people were paying cash and some were cards. So it was a bit like, ah. And then Sunday was pretty good as well, actually. It wasn't as busy. It never normally is on a Sunday. It's a bit more quieter. It's supposed to be, you know, kind of winding down. But you find on Sundays, you kind of get waves of people coming in. Especially at the end, you suddenly just get this wave in the last hour where like everyone's like, oh my God, I need to buy, I need to do it. It's ending. And then you get like a load of customers at the end. So it's always worth hanging right to the end, which is what we did. And it was a really, really good day actually as well. We took really good money, and it was a fantastic weekend in general. We were able to do everything on our bucket list, our personal ones. My partner and I kind of make little lists of what we want to do in Whitby, and there's a few things. So I like to go to the Whitby bookshop. I like to buy a book there, which I did do, and I have finished. Was pretty good actually. And we like to go to a new place every time, if they're especially like, because in Whitby, if you've ever been, it's full of local restaurants mostly. There's not many chains at all. There might be like a Costa or a Greg's, but you're not having like a chain restaurant there. So we found a lovely place right near our Airbnb, which is just on the outskirts of Whitby. We went to this really lovely pub. It was a little bit pricier than normal, but it was fantastic. It was called the Falcon Inn, and honestly, if you want quality food, go there. Amazing. I had the fish pie. It was fantastic. I could not finish it though. It was so tasty, but it was proper fishy, and it wasn't like, sometimes they could be a bit lackluster, but this was beautiful. And then we also went to our favourite Italian. I think it's Costa Nostra or Casa Nostra. Not sure. Don't quote me on it. But we've been going for a few years. I should know the name, shouldn't I? We had a fabulous meal there. It was absolutely heaving as well. We had to have a really late table on Saturday. Or was it Friday? The days are blurring in. And we had a fabulous meal. We were in and out in 45 minutes, which, you know, sometimes you feel like you're being rushed. But after doing a market and it was heaving, it was the best thing ever. And I was so grateful for the waitresses there for doing that. So we were very pleased. And then we also went to another place, and I cannot think of the name of it. Oh, that was it. Went to Revolution as well. We had a lovely meal there, lovely staff as well. And the food, as always, I've never had bad food in Whitby. It's always been really, really good. So yeah, we found lots of new food places. That's another thing we do on our list. We always go and have a cocktail as well at Moon and Sixpence, I think it's called. That's on our list. We always have a cocktail in there. It's so good. It's a little bit pricey, but it's so nice. Really worth doing. If you want to have a little tipple, that's a great place to go. we also go to the arcades as well. The joke is we always go and do the claw machines, and we do those to win a toy for my dog. We like to win like the little small ones, so we did that as well. And my partner also likes to buy something really random, and he did, I can't remember what it was, but he always buys something, so we did that as well. So yeah, we just generally, it was a fantastic weekend, and I will probably cherish that for years, because it was the last time at the Brunswick Centre, which is really sad. But that's not because, you know, anything bad's happened. It's just the venue's closing now to this type of thing. It's becoming more of a music venue as far as I'm aware. So for next year, I will be in the leisure centre, which is where a lot of the other traders are. So that's great that they got me in, but for next year we'll be in there. So it was a bit bittersweet, but what a bang of an end. I can't moan at all really on that. Let me tell you numbers. We had some amazing bestsellers this time. I had some big ones that I did not expect at all. So some of the bestsellers we had were my t-shirts, which is random. I've been selling t-shirts for a few years now, and they've never been a big hitter. I've had them, and I decided to try a different design for just why not. And I have a new design. Well, I have several new designs. They're like small little ones that go on like the breast bit, and they were really, really popular. I sold in the end 15 t-shirts over the weekend. Actually, no, that's a lie. I sold 17. I took 20 with me, and I only came home with 3. So I'm ecstatic with that. And that was down to my partner. He decided to do something different with the layout, and he laid them on the table rather than we normally have a rail. And it was the best thing, because people were picking them up and looking at the sizes and trying them. One guy literally was like, I'm going to go change into it now. So I was very chuffed with that. And that was a big shock for me. So, you know, props to Tom there for working his magic. The second, not really a shock on this, was the potato cats. I sold out by Saturday afternoon, and we sold, believe, if I've got my figures right, we sold 14 of those. So again, we did really, really well. They were very, very popular this time. I was making them as I went, and I actually had a couple people request different colours for cats, which I said I could do, and I'm in the process of sorting those now. So that's a couple of extra commissions I've picked up at home, which is quite nice. And then the third big bestseller were my prints, and I sold so many prints. I could not believe. I took a box full, like to the brim full. It was so heavy. And when I packed everything up, I couldn't believe the box was half empty. It was very, very print heavy, this market. I had taken frames with me, and I think I mentioned this before, that I normally sell about 3 to 4 frames on a big Whitby type market. I sold so many frames. So I sold 8 big frames and 6 little frames. Just ridiculous. That was amazing. Thank you so much to people that did buy them, by the way. I actually had told off my partner because he picked up a box that we didn't actually, well, I didn't think at the time I needed. It was a full box of A4 frames. And I remember moaning at him, and first I said, why did you bring it? We don't need that. That's too many things. That's an extra thing we've got to take. And did I eat my words? Boy, did I eat my words. I needed that because I only took 3 frames with me in my boxes, and we cracked that open, and I didn't have many left by the end of Sunday. So thank you again, Tom, for thinking ahead there and bringing extra frames. But generally, I was looking at my prints the other day, and for one category, there were 6 prints left. 6. I normally have about 40 prints in that category alone, and I only had 6 left. So that kind of gives you an idea. And it was, you know, there wasn't really a bad seller. Everything was selling. It was very varied, but those 3 were my top 3. It was a very successful market, so I'm just very, very thankful. And if you are watching this and you did go to Whitby, thank you so much for your support and for your lovely words. I had so many conversations with people, and it was just so nice to kind of interact with people. So thank you again. So anyway, waffling figures. So Friday, again, I do this in profit. I don't do this in sales. So for profit, on Friday, we made £435, which is amazing, which is, it's so good. And then Saturday, we made 635 profit. Amazing again. And then Sunday, we took 300 profit. So we had an amazing time. I cannot thank everyone enough for all their lovely support, and to the people that run Whitby Goth Weekend, thank you so much for having me again. I cannot wait to come back and to be at the leisure centre this time. A big thank you obviously to my partner Tom, who came and helped me set up, run the stall with me, fed me, made sure I was live with sugar and everything, kept me going, and of course driving as well. I do drive, but we take his car, and he is really confident driving on the roads to Whitby. I'm okay, but he is so chill about these things. So yeah, obviously big thank you to him. But yeah, that's all I can say really. It's just thank you so much. But I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different. I hope you liked seeing some footage of us make stuff. Please don't forget to like and comment on the video. That really does help push the channel to other people. I'd like to make some friends, so if you're out there, please come and say hello to me. I do have my Instagram as well. Feel free to drop me a message on there, but generally if you want to come say hello, that would be lovely. It'd be really nice to make a little community. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.